And I just realized that I had my microphone turned off. I apologize, everyone. It happens all the time. So let's just start this over again. My name's Larry. The name of my channel is Plump Travelers. Our channel is all about inspiring those with disabilities to get out and travel the world. And I'm sure you've already seen this part here instead of saying it all over again. Yeah. We go live every Friday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Pacific. It's a new time. I was on Thursdays. Thursdays at, what was it, 4 p.m. Eastern. But it was really quiet and stuff on that, so I wanted to change the time up. So I switched to Fridays. So just to let everybody know, today's show, we have a special guest with us. His name is Matt Allen with Fintastic Cruising. His wife, Kimbra, is with him also today, and they both work at the Florida Aquarium in Tampa Bay. Very, very knowledgeable in aquatic life. That's why I love going to their channel. If you get a chance and you haven't checked them out, please go check them out. Very knowledgeable about aquatic life and cruising and everything else. You will learn a lot. And speaking of learning, in this episode of Swimming with the Sharks, we're going to be discussing some amazing things. Stick around and find out what that is. Yeah, I'm very excited about tonight's show. This is my first time ever interviewing someone. Yes, I've been on lives before. This is my first live, and I speak to, like, I have a co-host when I do my talk show and stuff like that. But this is officially my first collab with another channel, and it's about a great subject that I'm very passionate about, and so I was honored when they accepted to come on here. So I can't wait, and I hope this excites you guys, because yeah, I'm excited. So let me just go in here and into the chat and check out the chat first here. Let's get a little bit of this first here. All right, so we have Rob. Hi, Rob. How's it going, Rob? I'm not going to get into the comments right now. It's just going to take too long. There's Blaine. We have a Blaine. Who else have we got in here? We got Meg. There's Meg. And then we got Matt and Kimbra from Fintastic Cruising. They'll be up here very shortly, guys. Stay tuned. What do we got here? We got Tropical Islands. I don't know that name. Where are you guys from, guys? Welcome in, by the way. Stay tuned. And then we got Stacy. Hi, Stacy. And then we got Sandy. This is Fantastic Cruising's mummy. I'm going to say it that way. We just call her Mama. Mama Sandy. Say hi, Mama to Sandy. What else do we got down here? We got Gianna Bentley. Hi, how you doing? Another name I'm not familiar with, so welcome in. Where are you from? Let's get through this a little quickly. Don't worry, I'll be coming back and answering some questions here. I just want to show who's in here. So this is Taylor Giroux. This is my youngest daughter. She lives in New Mexico, guys. So please show her some love. She's one of my mods too. She does a great job. Hi, Taylor. Love you. Miss you. I'll see you soon. Oh, we got Sean. There we go. There's Sean. He's in Texas, waiting to go down to Tampa Bay. Can't wait to see you, Sean. I got, what is it? I think 13 more days, and I get to see you, Sean. Woohoo! All right, so let me see. Okay, so we're down at the bottom, so that's good. We're down at the bottom. We'll leave that for later to come back. So I just wanted to share a little video here that I created. It's it'll kind of give you an idea what tonight's going to be all about. Give me a sec. I got to shut this comment off before. Oh, we also got Greg from SCT Adventure. Sorry. All right, so now let me turn off these comments just so I don't fog up the, oh, here. Sorry about this. All right, here we go. Now here's the video. So it's not a long video. It's just a really short one. So just keep watching. One, sorry, that was the wrong one.
Have you seen it on TV or in a movie theater? Think 1975, a major movie at the time. The scene, someone swimming in the water, and all of a sudden you hear the escalating bass sound being played, getting louder and louder as the camera is getting closer to the swimmer. All of a sudden, BAM! You see the swimmer suddenly sink under the water. The place where they went under then starts to get all red like blood as they are being pulled under. You hear the swimmer screaming. What is it, you are thinking? Oh my God, what is it? The scene then flips underwater so you can see. And there it is. A massive, great white shark chomping down on the swimmer and them trying to thrash at the shark to get away to no avail. And then the scene cuts away. You know what happened? The poor swimmer didn't make it.
So I hope you guys liked that. I had fun making that. It was lots of fun. So anyway, today I want to talk about the fear of sharks. Is it real? Is it justified? Or is it a myth? Are sharks dangerous? Can you still swim in the water where there are sharks? Many people in the cruising community know that it is a dream for me to go swimming with the sharks one day. I just love looking at the scenery behind me. I can't wait to be able to experience that. Just a little backstory on me. When I was 3 years old, I was dragged up the street in a German Shepherd's mouth. He had a hold of my arm and was carrying me up the street. And so all my life, I've had a fear of dogs. And so with that fear, I was bullied when I was younger also. And so I took it upon myself to stop being in fear and went out and eventually the bullying stopped. And so I took that as a sign, you know what, it's not as bad as we think it is. So years go by, I started watching Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, and he had a pit bull, which is a very, very tough dog breed for me to be around. I can be around them for the most part, the puppy ones. But when you get into the bigger ones, like I've had some scary stuff. We had some drug dealers living by us that had a pit bull, and it got out and got at one of my kittens, and graphic detail I'm not going to go into. And so it traumatized me and stuff like that. But so with the Cesar Millan, I started to learn how to basically deal with fear and stuff. And so eventually over time, I've been able to slowly gain some trust in dogs. So I've learned some body languages of them and stuff. My mother-in-law, Ananda's stepmom, she has 2 Dobermans. And when I first met my father-in-law, I had to jump in the back of a van with these 2 Dobermans. And one of them, the female, Savvy, she just constantly barks. It doesn't matter if she knows you're not. She'll just bark, and she'll rah, 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 right at your face. Well, I've learned how to deal with that. And so I jumped right in there, never got bitten, obviously. And now they're like my brothers and sisters, like, cuddly dogs, and they do fight. They have some, my wife calls it histrionics. But it's really cool. And I've learned some stuff about fear. And so I just wanted to say here, disclaimer, I'm not a shark expert, or am I trained in any shark behavior at all. My knowledge I do have is from my love I have for all creatures on this planet. This is why we brought Matt and Kimbra today, is because they're very knowledgeable. And I can almost say that most likely they'll be like the dog whisperer. They'll tell you some things about sharks and stuff. I really I don't like the fact that we all think everything that kills and stuff are bad and vicious and evil and stuff like that. And so that's kind of like why I want to do this kind of a show tonight. And so right now I'm going to bring up Matt, if that's okay. Let me pull up here. Here we go. Give me one sec. All right, there we go. You guys ready? Good to go. There we go. I gotta unmute your
Hey.
I gotta unmute you this time so I don't get in trouble.
That's
hey
it.
guys.
We've been there, done that. Hey, hello, Larry. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Yes, I'm sure we've all done that. Look back and do you want to know how I found out that I didn't have my volume on? Is I was getting a message from a good friend, and that was my sign to look around, and then I realized that I was still muted. It's like, but that's okay. So anyway, welcome you guys. I want to say thank you, and I very much appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I'm honored to have you guys on here. You guys do an amazing work, and I thought it would be great to bring you on so we can spread some shark awareness, if that was okay with you guys.
Always in favor of spreading shark awareness.
Yes, you guys are certified scuba divers. I'm jealous.
Some say certifiable, but yeah.
Yes. Ananda and I, we both been to a resort in Mexico where we fell in love and we got married in Playa de Carmen, actually. We did the free hour intro to scuba and all that kind of stuff, and we both loved it. But I'll say it, I have a gag reflex, sorry. And so when you put that mouthpiece in your mouth, and I was down under the water, I kind of panicked a bit, but I'm sure I can overcome that. But then there's also the full face mask that I saw that's very expensive, I see, though. But it's still possible. But I can get over that fear of panic and stuff. And I loved it. Now Nanda's wants to get certified, but you guys are. How long have you been certified?
I've been certified since I was 15 years old. So that was
just a couple years ago, right?
It was a few.
Yeah.
And she's been certified much less time.
Yeah, so I've officially been certified since February of 2020. However, in college, I did take a scuba class to get certified, and they always scheduled the final dives 3 days before they were happening, and I had a job, so I couldn't ever actually complete it. So once Matt came along, he encouraged me to go out and do it again, and
And I will say this too, Larry, as far as you were talking about being uncomfortable, you did the intro to scuba where they basically throw you in. If you go through certification, it's a much more gradual process, and you start in the pool. And so you have a lot more time to acclimate in that. So I think you're right. I think you would totally be fine. You just would need a little time to, some people just need a little time to adjust and get used to it and get comfortable and be confident in your own abilities, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I actually want to, for scuba reasons, I really want to try that full face mask just to experience what that's all about. I know we've talked about this before, Matt, the goods and the bads and all those kinds of things, but I just want to see what that would be like, and then I can envision it for scuba. I'm sure there's things, just in case, right? And so, yeah, I don't know. I might buy one when I'm down there. I don't know. We'll see. I might not like it because I've heard some stuff.
Well, you're going to have problems with the beard though, with those full face snorkels.
Just so you know, I'm going to be shaving this for the cruise.
Oh.
It's kind of like the Movember thing, except in September.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm not going to have all this. Because I do know that we had our own snorkel gear before when we were in Mexico, and I just left it there. It was, but it was like the Walmart $25 kit, you know what I mean? Leaking and stuff like that. And then We also went to a thing called Shalha, which is a marine park, with all-inclusive marine park. They have the tube like you guys did, the one where you kept getting stuck and you never answered me to figure out why you kept getting stuck. Anyway, I'm kidding. So they have like a lazy river tubing, all kinds of stuff with snorkels and things, and it comes with food and drink. I believe they had a what do you call it? Stingray. So basically, this is where me and Ananda fell in love with marine life, right? Now I've always had a big interest in sharks, but it's only been because I'm going to share a video here of this. It's only a 7-minute video of this place, a dive shop in Playa del Carmen, and they talk about the sharks. So I'd like to share that, and then I would like to get into some questions with you, if that's all right.
Sure.
You guys.
Yeah.
So just give me 1 sec. I'm going to bring it up. So this is called Phantom Divers. The Phantom Diving Shop. It's in Playa del Carmen. You guys, you know where Playa del Carmen is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So yeah, it's just directly across from Cozumel, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Have you ever made it across that ferry?
I have, yeah. I've done that a few times. I did the whale shark swim. We went across and then up to Cancun.
Yeah.
I've also gone to a place called Xcaret and taken the ferry over.
So you know that one, yes. Okay, all right. So yeah, it's not that bad. I'm just gonna share this. For some reason, I can't move this screen out of my way so I can see you before I share. But anyway, it's not that bad. And if I ever go to Cozumel, I think I would consider going and checking out this shop. They do courses and everything. They certify you, and there's so many things. I left a link in the description to their YouTube channel and their website and stuff. And they do shark. I think it's called shark conservation. That's the proper word, right?
Yeah.
Matt, yeah. Shark conservation. Yeah. So just 1 sec here. All right, here we go. Give me 1 sec.
Popular culture would have us believe that all sharks are reckless killing machines, attacking swimmers and divers all the time. The media would have us fear sharks as deadly man-eating monsters from the deep. This is a myth.
Hola, my name is Jorge Loria. I run Phantom Divers, pioneers of bull shark diving in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. You know, more people are killed each year from lightning than by sharks. There are about 70 shark attacks reported each year, but only 5 of them are mortal.
Yes, sharks do attack, but usually out of confusion in shallow, murky water. Sharks do not have hands to feel. They do it with their snout. Then they bite. They also have gustative glands that helps them determine if it's food or not. Luckily, we're not part of their menu. Sharks have inhabited the planet over 4 million years, and due to our lack of knowledge, we fear them. The information we have now on their behavior is quite extensive, and we should learn more about them. Over the years, we have got much closer to them, allowing us to feed them under controlled conditions. You know what? Sharks have been feeding in this area long before we came here. The amount of fish we provide is very little to what they need to eat to survive, so we're not upsetting their natural feeding behavior. Actually, this type of dive gives us a great opportunity to get close, take pictures, measure, and tag them, so we can study their behavior and their swimming patterns with the help of saving our shark scientists. These amazing creatures are bull sharks, recognizable by their much fatter appearance with a wide round snout, not pointed like other sharks. They have 2 dorsal fins, one larger than the other. They can reach a length of 10 feet and weigh up to 600 pounds.
Hi, my name is Ramon Magania. Bull sharks is among the three most dangerous species. The other two is the tiger and the great white. Bull sharks can swim in shallow, murky water and go up to freshwater rivers, putting themselves in close proximity to humans. This is where incident happens, when the shark mistaken us for food.
Today, we're diving in high visibility water, where the sharks can easily distinguish us from fish. Even so, first and foremost on this dive is safety, and the person in charge of safety is my co-worker, David Martinez.
Thank you, Chino. Today I will be your safety diver on this incredible adventure. This dive is a deep dive, a static dive with current.
That's why we require divers with good diving skills capable of going down by themselves.
It's very important that all the divers follow the rules to have a safe and fun dive. Now, please pay attention.
Once on board, I will assign you a place. It's very important you remain seated so we can assist you. Please avoid walking around the boat. When you are in your place with your wetsuit on, we will give you your weights. You will be weighted heavier for this dive to ensure you can easily go down and stay on the bottom. We will help you put on your equipment. Do not take any shiny or bright colored objects with you. On the dive site, which is a few minutes away, at the count of 3, we will do a back row entry. On the surface, we will form a team and descend together as a tight group. This dive is 80 feet deep with 25 minutes bottom time. We will have great visibility and some current, so it's important we descend and stay together. In case a diver cannot go down, he should get back to the boat. For no reason, go down on your own. On the bottom, you will find a rope. You will need to lay down on your stomach and grab the rope. It is important to line up shoulder to shoulder. Do not pass the rope so you don't block the view of other divers. Keep your hands holding the rope at all times. For no reason, extend your hands out. The use of cameras is allowed. If you wish to take photos, do not abandon your position. You should keep your hands and your camera under the rope. For no reason, hold up your camera. GoPro sticks are not permitted. This ruins other divers' pictures. Professional photographers will receive an extra photo briefing. If any food falls near you, do not touch it. Just move back and signal. One of our security divers will remove it. Do not touch the sharks. We are professionals and we use a special protection. Always be ready for my signal. When you get the up signal, we will ascend as one group all together at 1 foot per second. It's not allowed to stay longer. Remember to inflate your jacket since you are overweighted. You should control your ascent rate. We will make a safety stop at 15 feet. We will stay for 3 minutes. Once on the surface, you should inflate your BCD. Hang your mask around your neck and remain with the group. Avoid excessive movements and splashing water. The boat captain will throw a buoy with a rope. You must hold the rope and wait for your turn to get on the boat.
It is very important you conduct yourself as a responsible diver and follow this plan for your own safety and the safety of the group. Now, let's have fun.
The very sad fact is that over 100 million sharks are killed every year by humans. We are a threat to them, not them to us. Commercial fishing is often just to sell their fins for soup. The rest of the shark is not consumed. Sharks are at the top of the food chain. They have been there for millions of years. A threat to them is a threat to the balance of the whole marine ecosystem.
Hi, my name is Luis Lombardo. By participating in this shark dive, you are directly collaborating with the project of saving our shark, and you will gain first-hand knowledge of this misunderstood creature.
Now that you have witnessed the behavior of these amazing creatures,
Please help us to save our sharks
And our planet.
Oh, what's going on? It won't let me stop. It won't let me stop. There we go. Sorry. There we go. Sorry, it wouldn't let me go over to my other screen. The joys of having multiple screens. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was really important that we bring this out. And one of the things I want to say is, as I was saying earlier, it is a dream for me to swim with sharks. And I actually, one of my first questions to you would be, is have you guys swam with sharks yet?
We have.
Yes.
We have in sort of controlled situations like you just saw, and
Yes.
even more controlled situations at the aquarium, and then in situations where we've just run into them while we were just out and they were there.
Does it
You
get
swam
your
with- oh, go ahead.
does it get your heart going really fast?
Does it get your heart going really fast?
I
Do
mean-
I get your heart going really fast?
Aw.
Yeah.
With excitement, not like fear or anything.
What about the first time that we saw? What was the first shark that you saw? Was it the nurse shark?
The Caribbean reef shark.
Oh, the Caribbean reef shark.
In the Keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that swam right through us.
Did you get any kind of adrenaline other than excitement?
No, I got so excited that I couldn't control my buoyancy, and I actually started floating up because I was so I probably blew through a bunch of air because I was just so excited that the shark swam right through the group.
Yeah. I have never had a fear while I was in the presence of sharks. No, absolutely not.
Wow.
But definitely my heart rate goes up because I'm excited. Yes.
Is it because you work with sharks?
Yeah, I think by the time that I actually experienced sharks in the water, I had been working with and around animals for so long that I kind of understood that our perception of them is often misled by what we see in Hollywood and the media. And so I'd already spent a good portion of my life trying to downplay these fears with sharks, even though I hadn't been in the water with them, and with reptiles, which I had much more exposure to. So by the time I actually saw my first shark in the wild, I thought about it for a second. I remember consciously thinking, should I be afraid right now? Am I afraid right now? And the answer was no in both counts. So yeah.
That is so cool. I don't think I will have that fear because I've been watching you guys and the way you guys talk about your creatures and your cruise creature and stuff like that. You can tell that you guys are passionate, and that brings some of my fear down because it's like, no, you need to be very careful because they can bite you. And now, of course, the important thing is we need to be respectful of what they are. Like he said in there, they are dangerous. Yes, they can bite and they can do stuff that we don't want them to do. And so we just need to have that respect. But I don't think I'll have that fear like I do with some dogs and stuff. Like what is that? Sorry. My wife's trying to make a frappuccino and she's forgetting that I'm live and everybody's going to hear it.
Well, and Larry, really, like Blaine's saying, shark bites are so rare, really, in the scheme of things. And like I'm not trying to hate on dogs or anything, but
Nope.
I mean, your fear of dogs is much more rational than a fear of sharks, because the percentage of people that are bitten or attacked by dogs is so much crazy higher than sharks could ever be. And I'm not encouraging people to have fear of dogs. It's still a very low probability, and being responsible around them and stuff makes that probability even smaller. But we have this fear of sharks when, statistically speaking, we should be more afraid of a vending machine falling on us, because your odds of being killed by that is greater than being killed by a shark. And nobody's afraid of vending machines, I don't think.
No.
I mean, probably somebody is, but
I'm sure. Actually, there probably is.
I'm sure there's probably a name for it.
Because there's people who are fearful of like dressers falling over on them.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say though, like, because I was just down visiting my kids on my birthday, August 31st. I was at their house and they have these two dogs, and I was not aware that one of the dogs was injured and it was healing. And so again, I've been watching Cesar Millan for years, and I learned how and what not to do and stuff like that, and learning body language. And I went up, and they were inside to this like baby gate. And so I went over there, and they were both wagging their tails. So I'm tall, and I bent down just to, I didn't put my hand in the cage. I put it up to the cage, or the fence, or whatever you want to call it. And the first one started, wagging her tail, and I took that as a good sign, and I put my finger in, and she licked me and everything. And it's like, but I have a problem being like, oh, geez, kitty, we don't want to. You don't do that with certain types of dogs. I'm learning that's not a good thing. It's just because I like the little playful dogs. You know what I mean? Like there's some of those little yappy ones. I'm not against dogs either, by the way. And so I put my hand up again, and it was still wagging its tail, but just as I went to put my hand in, it snapped at my finger. Right now, I'm not mad at this dog. It was these things, and I'm still not scared of it, because it snapped at me. But there's just certain signs, and this is why I'm getting into this part here, is watching these videos that I've been watching on swimming with sharks. You can see that they're really not coming at you to kill you. They're, like from what I'm seeing, and I'm not against people that love water without pointing fingers. I've been in certain states that people love the water. and I couldn't believe it. I actually forgot that there was actually great white sharks in this water. And from what I understand, a lot of these attacks out there are because they're thinking it's food or a seal. It looks like a seal, right? Do you know what I mean? Right. So it's coming up from the bottom at them. That's a little different than swimming with sharks.
Right. Well, here's what I would say. If you're purposefully swimming, scuba diving, snorkeling, whatever it may be, with sharks, you're doing it in an environment where you have a little more control. They have a little more control. You can see them. They can see you. The times that people are attacked by sharks are typically when they don't see that shark, or maybe they're spearfishing or something, and they're basically dragging food along with them. Yes. Sharks, like one of the greatest points they made in that video you showed is the fact that despite what movies would like us to think and the media would like us to think, there are no sharks that naturally prey on humans. That's not a thing that happens. When attacks occur, it is believed that it is almost always a case of the shark making a mistake. And what kind of makes us even more confident in that is that in most shark attacks, it's one or two bites and then the shark goes away. That's not what they do when they're getting a sea lion. So, there's a different response. And so we know that it's usually a case where the shark can't see very well, or maybe you're giving off a silhouette that looks like their prey, and you can't sneak up on your prey and like ask it a question. You have to get your prey. So it's easy for a shark to make a mistake in certain circumstances.
Yeah. Like in that video, like he talks about they see with their nose, and when you're seeing them coming in, you can see that they're not really going. It's not like a dog is running across the field and he's jumping up and attacking your neck or whatever the case. It's slow, right? Now I'm not talking about the great whites. They have a little different way of dealing with things, I guess, than like a small little reef shark. Come on.
They're eating bigger things, so that, all things are relative. They do sense with their nose, but not just their sense of smell. Their main sense in their nose is our little gelatinous-filled pores called ampulla of Lorenzini, and they're actually what they're really sensing most strongly at that close proximity is going to be electrical impulses. So that would be from like muscle movement creates a little bit of electricity. And that's what they're really sensing with their noses. Their sense of smell will help them as well, but that's more of something they're going to use from further off. It's going to bring them to a food source. And then when they get to it, that's how they're going to really locate that prey.
They can smell quite a long way, can't they?
They can't. Well, what they can do is they can detect very minute particles in the water.
But they
So
can't really tell what it is.
they
So
can, I mean, they might be able to detect that it's like fish oil or blood or something like that. And then they can follow that, and where those particles get more condensed, the smell will be stronger until they get to the source of it. But what that means is if you are bleeding and a shark is 300 yards away, it's not going to smell that blood until that blood dissipates out to that 300-yard point. And as thin as that spreads, that's where the shark's sense of smell is so remarkable, where it can detect that really minute bit of blood particle in the water or fish oil or whatever it may be.
Wow.
It's a statistic that's often, I think, portrayed in a way that's confusing, because people will say they can detect a drop of blood in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and that's not inaccurate, but it's more like, it's kind of confusing the way that sounds. It's like if you suddenly cut your finger in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, the shark's on the other side of the pool, they're not going to instantly smell that. That's that chemical of the blood or whatever it may be has to dissipate and travel through the water until it has to go into their nair before they can detect it.
Okay. So we don't need to worry about, because there was a question brought up for the ladies. Yep. Without going into detail, does that have an effect?
So if you look at like the University of Florida Shark Attack Files has a lot of good information about how to stay safe from sharks. Mm-hmm. And that is a topic that they cover. And what they say about it, and I trust the University of Florida, is that there is no scientific documentation of that having any impact on shark attacks. And so they don't think that is a factor.
Because I'm assuming we're human. We're not a fish. It's not like we were saying. They're not coming after humans. They're looking for food, and like he was saying, we're not necessarily food. They might get mistaken as food. So obviously, I'm not going to go into anything, but you know what I mean. So I don't think that would be an issue.
I would say that I would not be concerned about that if I were a female.
Yeah. That's all I was trying to bring out in a nice soft way.
You're statistically at no higher risk.
There we go. I just put up a thing here. I just wanted to ask if anybody has questions for Matt or Kimbra. We weren't 100% sure on if Kimbra's coming, so we got to get Kimbra in there too. So, but just so you know, I do have questions for you guys and everything. I'm leading into that. I do have one little quick video. I'm not going to show the whole video. This is from Amy from Amethyst Haze. She swam with the sharks in Bimini, and because I'm not certified to scuba yet, I am very much looking to do this Bimini trip. If anybody's ever going on this Bimini, going to Bimini, let me know, and I might book that cruise with you. Just give me a sec here. All right. Oh, I'm still sharing a video. There we go. Now I need to reshare this in here. All right, where are we at? Here we go. So yeah, I'm not going to play the whole thing, and I think I have it really set up so that it'll do things here. Let me remove this here. I'm just going to keep you both up there if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
What?
Oh, this looks fun. Oh.
We both did this excursion too, and it is quite amazing.
Yeah. Oh, sorry guys. Kid in the candy store. Oh wow. Now, of course, there's not much more marine life or anything, but you're still getting the experience of swimming with the sharks
and two species of sharks too, by the way. The smaller ones that are on the bottom are called shark-nosed sharks, And then the
Oh,
bigger
okay.
ones that are up towards the top are Caribbean reef sharks.
The reefs, yeah, yeah. I didn't know about the ones on the bottom. I was too busy looking at the reefs. The reefies. What such a beautiful creature in the water.
They really are. And when we did this excursion, a lot of the people that were on the boat were kind of saying they weren't sure if they were going to get in the water. They saw the sharks in the water and they were like, I'm not doing this. But I think everybody ended up getting in the water. And nobody was afraid. Once you're in the water with them, you start seeing them swim around. Everybody's fear left.
Sorry, it's getting too loud. I'm gonna stop that.
No worries. And they just really were amazed by the gracefulness. I mean, these really are beautiful fish, and so you lose all that fear, and you just start seeing them as what they are, which is just another fish in the water, and they're graceful swimming. They're just sleek, beautiful animals.
Well, once we got back on the boat, all of the people that were kind of afraid to get in said, I'm so glad I did that.
Yes.
Just for me, just watching the video, people just jumping in, and then you automatically see them in the water. Well, you don't see them rushing at you. They're not coming to bite you or any of that stuff, right? So that really, for me, it takes away a lot of the fear. Like, you know what I mean? Now, of course, there's going to be that, okay. I won't call it like extreme fear or anything. It's a respect that you have to have for dangerous things. It's excitement fear, I guess.
But of the 3 species that were in the water during that video that you saw, the 2 species of sharks and the humans, one of those is much, much, much more dangerous than the other 2.
The human.
That's right.
There we go.
Right. And speaking of dogs and stuff, the most unpredictable, dangerous species on this planet is a human being, and there's nothing that even comes close. So
yeah,
keep our perspective.
So if you guys ever book anything with Bimini, please let me know.
We actually want to do a whole trip to Bimini because Bimini has tiger shark diving, I think, the hammerhead diving.
I know your favorite.
Yeah, and then that reef shark. Bimini also is home to one of the biggest shark research stations on the planet, where they primarily study lemon sharks, but they study all different species as well. And so Bimini itself is a really high spot for sharks. Like just walking from the cruise port or from the cruise ship to the land across the little concrete bridge, like we saw sharks in the water there. I've never seen that at any other cruise port. It was amazing.
So if I were to go on this, say, Bimini thing with you, because you guys are divers, would you consider like doing like this kind of an excursion like for me? Because I can't do maybe I would be able to get certified by the time you guys. No, I don't know.
Some of the things that they offer are scuba only. But like the package we looked at, because they offer packages, had a combination of different ones. And so the thing is, like, it's usually more expensive to dive. But so if we were in Bimini, like we would maximize our experiences, and we would do a mix of snorkeling and diving, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, you guys are if I was certified, I'm sure I would want to do the scuba dive over snorkeling.
But I don't think you can do the snorkeling with the other sharks. I think it's just this one.
You can do snorkeling.
Is there a snorkeling?
Yeah, the diving option has, you can stay on the surface and just snorkel while others dive.
Oh, cool. Okay, there you go. So you could be on the same boat.
So I can be on the same boat, but at the top you can't dive down, obviously. Because isn't hammerheads, they're deeper down too, right?
They're all they can be up at the surface, down below.
Like in the depth of what we were just looking at with Amy's video.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought they were way deeper. Like
well, there's different species of hammerhead, but most of the hammerheads will come into shallower water, and the ones that they get there, they only offer that seasonally because it's the great hammerhead, and the great hammerhead is a migratory fish, and so they're only in that area commonly a certain time of the year, which is kind of the winter months.
December through April.
Yeah. So, so they will be out in the open ocean, but they'll also come in shell. But the thing is, hammerheads primarily feed on stingrays and flounders. The Ampullae of Lorenzini I was talking about.
Yep.
I mean, their hammerhead is an adaptation that gives them a ton of Ampullae of Lorenzini. And when you're hunting stingrays and flounders, you can't see them, you can't smell them. They're under the sand. So they're able to sweep like a metal detector and pick up the heartbeat of a stingray under the sand and then go and have a snack.
My father, he passed away when I was 7. He was a net fisherman. So yeah, they brought home the flounders, the flounders, mackerel, shad, Gaspereau, all those things from the East Coast. I'm sure you know all those things. I'm going to get into some questions. If I can, and give me a minute. Oh, and just let everybody, are you okay with going over the hour?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
You guys are okay?
Yeah.
Well, because the Down Under Cruiser's not, from what I reckon, that's why I chose this. They weren't going to go live, or are they?
I don't know. I think Sean said they might try and go live tonight at 10, but I'm not 100% sure. But
does anybody know? Can somebody let me know?
He's in the chat.
Yeah.
You see, I got my chat closed. I can't see the chat.
There's some questions that have come through.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I'm saying that, because I got 99 comments up here. But I really want to bring out all this stuff, and I was going to take, the last part to ask you the questions like I was going to do, and and stuff like that. Let me just bring them up here. All right, let me go down here. Where are we at? Where's my questions? I got a bunch. You ready?
We're ready.
Where did they go? Here we go. Where'd they go? I have them in here. You guys know how this works. So this was one of the questions. Have you swam with sharks? And we already got that answer.
Every chance I get.
And this question I already having, but you already answered that one, so that went into it. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I can't find my questions. It's there we go. There, I found them finally. Here we go. Can you name a few different sharks, the common ones?
Do you want common to where we're at in Florida and the Caribbean, or?
Well, just in general, like for like as a general population knowledge of those kinds of sharks.
Well, so there are over 500 species of shark, and sharks are in every ocean and a few lakes and on the planet. And so in certain areas, there are certain sharks that are more common than others, but like the sharks that we see most often, nurse sharks, probably the most common one that we.
Gonna name that.
Oh,
I thought you were going to give me a chance.
Oh, go ahead. No, you can answer. You can definitely answer this question.
Nurse shark is what I had.
Nurse shark's what you had.
Caribbean reef shark.
So that's the one that we see second most.
In Tampa Bay?
Not in Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay, the most common sharks that I see in Tampa Bay are bonnethead sharks, which are basically
those are not
small hammerhead species.
Yeah.
Bull sharks are fairly common here. I don't see them. I do see blacktip sharks, not blacktip reef sharks, but blacktip sharks and spinner sharks, which I see those because they will spiral through a school of fish and jump out of the water.
Oh, I've seen that before. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And that's when you hear about places like New Smyrna Beach on the east coast of Florida being the shark attack capital of the world, that's mostly those sharks. They're fairly small sharks. It's mostly those sharks that are grabbing surfers because they're making a mistake. They're pretty minor bites. So they're pretty common sharks. But like over on your side of the continent, you get a lot of dogfish. I think horn sharks are fairly common over there. Great white populations are coming back.
They're actually coming up to on the other side of Vancouver Island, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, their population is recovering, and then also you have a lot of populations of sharks where populations of animals on the whole are shifting because
Yes.
the climate's warming, and so it's
Yes.
changing. It's changing where animals are living now, which is sometimes working out okay and sometimes not. But yeah, so if you go out, and these are sharks that you see more inshore.
Where can you find the epaulet shark?
I don't actually know.
Because I think that's a really cool shark.
They are cool sharks, small bottom dwelling shark.
They walk on land.
I think they're in the Pacific, but I don't know off the top of my head where the epaulet shark is from.
Okay.
But if you go out to open water, then you start getting like makos, blue sharks, stuff like that.
The ones that a lot of people would call scary sharks is the makos, the blues, and the hammers, the tigers, the bulls, the whites. I think that's quite a few, but the other ones just bite. They don't really like reefies can't really,
And most of those 500 plus species of sharks, the majority of them are under 5 or 6 feet.
That's right.
So, in length. So most sharks are smaller. There are, of course, quite a few that are bigger, but out of 500, most of them are smaller. And there are sharks that live. Oh, the epaulets. Tell them where they're at. She looked it up.
Australia.
G'day, mate.
Australia.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't actually know that. I just think it's a really cool shark.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's really cool. But there are a lot of sharks that live in the deep oceans, and so that's why we started a shark program 4 or 5 years ago, and we said there are 400 species of shark, and in that since then, that number has been very much pushed forward, and even at that time, it was being pushed that direction. So now it's very common for scientists to say, well, we know there's at least 500 species, and that means extant or living shark species. That's not even counting all the extinct species that have come and gone over the years, because sharks have been around a long time. So there's been a lot of species that have, come and gone.
I forgot the name of it. What's it called again? The big one, the huge one.
Megalodon.
Megalodon. There we go. There we go. I keep forgetting the name of it, but it was huge. It's bigger than the whale shark. Yeah.
Maybe.
No,
we don't really know, because all they leave behind. The problem with fossilized sharks is that the only thing that's fossilizing typically are teeth, and then maybe some of their vertebrae. And you don't really know. All you can do is say this tooth looks similar to this modern shark.
Yeah.
And if we do a math ratio, a shark in this day and age that has a tooth this big is about this big. And so we can go, well, Megalodon was about this big, but that range puts Megalodon anywhere between 35 and 60 feet. And most paleontologists, I think, lean more towards the 40-foot, which is a little under whale sharks, but we don't know. They could have been bigger than that.
And so you guys already swam with the whale sharks in Mexico as well.
I
have not.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
That was
before me.
It's pre-Kimbra, yeah.
You're gonna have to go down to Cozumel and stuff.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing it when we were there in June, but that was like the beginning of the season to do it.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that we do it like right in the middle where we know that we're definitely going to see some sharks.
And if you do that excursion, and we have a video on our channel from when I did it. Basically, if you do that excursion from a cruise, just know that you're going to spend your entire time in port traveling, doing your swim, and then traveling back. And the swim part is about 20 minutes. So your whole day is that. Now, I think it was worth it, but just be aware of that.
Now, your group cruise in March, isn't it? One of the stops Cozumel? I thought it was.
It does, yes.
Yes.
There you go. So
it's not whale shark season.
No,
though.
not the right season.
Yeah, they're there in the summer.
It's, June through August.
So so that's what that was, because we got married in June, and ironically, we were not aware that there were bull sharks in that area. I was not aware. Okay, so when we went there, we went twice. We went in 2012 when we first met, and we came back in 2014 and got married. We were not aware there was bull sharks there until we got our memberships at the aquarium. And it's like, then I'm finding out that bull sharks are way up there with the great whites and as in seriousness and stuff like that. But what we found out is that, okay, well, the season's from November till April. and we were getting married in June, which is fine. Well, until we went into a Shark Week one year, which is I think last year, and I looked at the history of shark attacks and stuff. Sure enough, there was some shark attacks in that area. But again, we don't know the whole situations of how things were. I'm still not afraid to go in that water. Now, there was one night that I was going in there, and you guys, I think you said both of you guys did night dives.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as I hear that, I just I just get creeped. There's no way I will ever do a night dive. I'm sorry.
And we saw sharks on our night dive.
We saw a nurse shark. That's where I saw my first sea turtle.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's right. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Because I was going to go into the water, and somebody said, "No, there's sharks." It's like, no, it's not. But it mentally got me, and I stepped into the water. But in the daytime, it was fine.
So sunrise and sunset is when most sharks are actively hunting, and going in the beach water at that time is still statistically very low risk, but it's, as far as in general compared to other times,
yes, yeah,
it's a higher risk time. There's not as many people in there to scare the sharks away. That's when they're looking for food. They can't see as well. These are all factors that could raise your probability, low as it may be, of being attacked by a shark. When you're on a night dive, it's a different scenario because you're not usually right at the shore, but even if you are, you're not alone. You have a light, which is going to probably scare the sharks away that are swimming around actively. Definitely, it's going to make them not be as confused. And realistically, you don't hear about scuba divers being attacked on night dives. It's not a thing. Scuba divers rarely get attacked by sharks at all. When it does happen, it's almost always spearfishing, that's not even considered an unprovoked attack when you're spearfishing, because I mean, if you walk past me carrying a fresh pizza, I might attack you, and it's your own fault. So, it's kind of the same thing with the shark.
It comes back to being respectful of that danger.
Right.
You're never going to say, well, they're not dangerous. They're not going to bite you. Come here, little sharky. They're not going to do that. But then that's where we all, as a human species, that's why, because you said we're dangerous. You just got to have that respect. Like you said, don't walk down the street with the pizza because they're going to come after you.
I will come after you.
Yeah. Before I get into any other questions, I wanted to ask this one. Both of you guys get to answer this one if you don't mind asking. You don't have to if that's. No, maybe.
Oh, no, go for it. We'll answer it. What's the question?
Oh, you're not seeing it on the screen.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the camera, so it looks like I'm looking.
I apologize. You're right. I should have asked the question. What are your jobs at the aquarium?
Yeah, you want to go first?
Sure. So I mostly sit at a desk. So I mean,
she doesn't get paid to sit at the desk.
There, you just ruined my image of I thought you were rating the shark cages and everything.
It's really not nearly as exciting as it sounds, but I help people come to the aquarium for education, specifically children. So I do reservations for the learning team or the education team. So I book field trips and programs and homeschool classes and sleepovers and birthday parties and outreaches and scout workshops. And so I talk to a lot of parents and teachers, and then I greet them whenever they come, and I get all of the children into the aquarium to explore all of the stuff.
You're part of the team, Kimbra. You're just as important.
She's a team leader. Right. Actually, she's got a much higher ranking position than I do. I
still get paid more.
I teach. I've been there a lot longer.
Oh yeah, you're just a teacher. Oh, okay.
I teach, so I take care of our education, our learning department animals, we call them animal ambassadors, which are mostly reptiles, so they're right up my alley. But my passion is teaching. I used to be a zookeeper. But
you were a zookeeper also?
I was a zookeeper.
Well, we're gonna have to talk more.
But I like talking. I like teaching. As you can tell, I like talking. I like talking about animals. I like teaching people about them. I like to invite people into the exceptional world that is our world that we live in. And so that's where my passion's at, and that's what I've kind of found my niche in the zoo and aquarium world.
That is why I watch your channel and everything. It's because of you liking to talk a lot. No, it's fascinating because, like I said, me and Ananda, when we were in Mexico, we did that excursion. That's where we fell in love with the marine life, and and it's like, oh wow. And so, of course, we got YouTube and stuff to see like that, but it's really cool to be able to talk to somebody like you who's very knowledgeable, to be able to get that knowledge. Like, oh, okay, it's like I'm sitting down there, Dad, go ahead, Dad, tell me a story kind of deal. I'm serious, Matt. That's how I am with you guys when you guys talk about it. My number one, even though I love sharks, my number one cruise creature that you brought up, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was alien looking, blue and white. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, probably the blue dragon, the Glaucus atlanticus, a sea slug that eats Portuguese man of war and then takes their stinging cells and uses them for its own protection.
I don't know. No. It was like a flying. It looked like it had wings and stuff, blue and white.
Looking at wings.
And it's really small. It's a really small thing.
That might be the sea slug. They're little bitty things.
They're like this big.
No. It was big. It looked like four-legged wings. I can't remember. It was really. It's like I'm going to find this. I'm going to send it to you after the show, and
we've done like 150 cruise creatures. So
totally no. I know. There's no way I'm ever going to bring that out to you guys. So you're the teacher, okay?
I'm the teacher. Yeah,
that's it. Yes.
Yeah, that's the blue dragon.
Yep,
that's a blue dragon.
They're only this big. Yeah,
I thought they were a little bigger.
Yeah,
cooler.
If you do a Google image search, there are some fakes out there, but in reality, they're little bitty things.
Well, now, of course, when we're seeing it on the screen, Matt, we can't see the size unless you have like. I didn't realize they were that small. That's even cooler.
And they eat Portuguese man of war, and they don't get stung. And then they take those little stinging cells, and they absorb them into their body, and they go to their skin. So then if you touch that sea slug, you get stung by its dinner.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
we actually just got a 3D print file of one of them.
Yes.
So we're going to 3D print some.
And it will be that big probably.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. I'm kidding.
No, they're cool. And that's what I'm talking about too. Like when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet, but I had books, and I had books with titles like Dangerous Sea Creatures and Deadly Sea Animals. And I used to read these books, and my parents would read them to me, and it was all interesting. But as I got older and started to learn the reality of the animal world, I found out that most of the stuff in those books was exaggerated nonsense, which is what we get on like the Discovery Channel these days and stuff like that. But that was okay, because the real facts, like that little sea slug that metabolizes stinging cells, is so much more interesting and fulfilling than this thing kills you. And when it doesn't really normally kill anybody. And so the reality of nature is much more fascinating than the scary media version of nature.
Truthfully, that's where I fully gained my respect and non-fear of the sharks, is because that's what they're doing. They're over dramatizing to bring in viewership and stuff like that. And so it's like, you might say that, but I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. And so I actually don't have cable anymore, so I rely on people like you to give me my proper teachings. Now, I actually, probably like you, grew up with the Jacques Cousteau and stuff, and I was actually expecting you to wear your Jacques hat.
I had it here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
I was gonna wear it, Larry, and I didn't, because our good friends at Iguana Land, which is down in Punta Gorda, man, they just got slammed. I
know,
right in the eye wall, and we've been down there a few times, and we know the owner a little bit from those experiences, and I just wanted to wear that to respect Iguana Land. The owner, Ty Parks, he's such a proud man. He never asks for anything, but people are pouring in to help him. But all I would say is if you're ever in the Fort Myers, Punta Gorda area, go and give him your business because he's a great conservationist.
Okay.
He's an educator, and he has a really cool facility for reptiles down there. So that's why I did that.
Actually, Ananda, my wife, she has a friend who lives in Punta Gorda. And so she lives inland, I guess, on a big, huge farm kind of property. She had some damage. But her mother lived on the beach. Well, in a canal off the beach. And they fared pretty well, like very lucky. Like I was blown away. Like she was showing the videos of her going, and it's like, okay, we're expecting massive damage because you're seeing all the YouTube videos of that area all done. And no, they had the lanai caved into their pool and stuff, and it gets a little bit of water damage. And what you can expect. Right. Nothing major though, right? You know, so so she actually wanted to go when I was going to the cruise. She wanted to, because we originally were supposed to go together, and she wanted to go to Halloween. This lady was going to have a Halloween party in Punta Gorda. So the reason why I'm saying that, maybe we will be able to get back down there and give them some business, because I love iguanas. I actually have a video of me chasing after iguana in Shelha. Not that I was doing anything bad. I love iguanas, and I like your big blue one down there.
Yes, he has a bunch of and not just iguanas, a bunch of species of lizards and turtles and a few snakes. But yeah, if you're a reptile nerd like us, it's like paradise.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a reptile nerd, but I'm not afraid of snakes. Now, I don't know if I told you or not, when I went to visit my kids, they had scorpions a couple days before I come down. And sure enough, when I got there, I just got out of the car and went up from the garage upstairs, and my daughter's boyfriend cop, oh yeah, just seen this big kicker. Oh my God. But the whole time I was there was fine. But they live pretty much in a desert, because they live south of Albuquerque, which is really close to Mexico. And it was in 90s and 100s when I was there. So I just want to do a couple questions, and I'm going to go into the comments. I promise. Yeah. How do sharks navigate?
So when you say navigate, do you mean how do they generally navigate, or how do they find things?
Yeah, like, so, because they don't stay relatively close, so they travel. How do they know where to travel? Like, or is it just random?
It's probably not random. There's been a lot of research, like they mentioned in that dive video, that they were working with Save Our Sharks to put trackers on sharks. There's been a ton of research in the last decade on tracking sharks and seeing where they go. That's a lot of what they do in Bimini. And sharks definitely, some species stay in one spot all year round, but a lot of them migrate. And you know, the cool thing about science is we don't have all the answers, and that's an answer that we don't have. Yeah. There's a lot of theories on it. You know, are they following currents? Maybe. Are they following temperatures? Do they have, like, sea turtles have sort of magnet mineral particles?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so they may be following the magnetic pole of the Earth. We don't know. It's probably a combination of some of those things and some things that we don't even know. But it's pretty incredible that they do it. Now, hammerheads will actually migrate in huge schools, and other sharks will migrate more independently.
Not hammerheads, but kind of like what you're saying there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I have a niece. She's actually in marine biology. She's in her, I think, second or third year, but she took a break. One of the subjects was giving her a hard time, so she took a little break, but she's going to go back. Yeah, because we have orca out here. I keep trying to encourage her, come out west here. They need some work on the orcas out here. And there's actually talking about creating like a retirement home for orca up here. Like where I live you've been through the Inside Patch. It's through Vancouver Island, right? Going up to Alaska?
I've never been to Alaska, but
you haven't?
I know where you are. Yeah, I know kind of that area from a map.
Yeah. So we get Vancouver Island, then we get the Strait of Georgia, and then we get the mainland of Vancouver and all that kind of stuff. Well, I live up north of. I live a 3-hour drive north of Vancouver, and so, but in that water where I just went over to Vancouver Island, that's called the Strait of Georgia, and so north of that, they're talking about taking a big, huge swath of area and making it into like a retirement home. Instead of putting them in aquariums, they're talking about having that and still be able to, do research and education and all that kind of stuff. But there was talk of that. I don't know if it's really going to come true or not, but yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
What is a shark call? Not calling on the phone.
It's a shell phone, I believe, is what they use to call.
The shell. Yeah.
What is a shark call?
It's killing off a bunch of sharks.
Yeah. So it's basically a call is just killing a bunch of sharks intentionally. Yes. What's the bad thing about shark calls is that they happen at all. And the reason that they typically happen is you will have that one incident and then there's panic and then let's go out and kill the sharks. Like in Jaws.
Yes.
Imagine if they did that when there was like a traffic accident. This red car had an accident and somebody died. Let's go and destroy all the red cars. It doesn't make any sense, but that is what a call is, a calling or call of sharks.
Yeah. My thing is this. Okay. I get another quick small story here. It's not a story. When I was younger, I went hunting and I actually shot a rabbit, but I didn't eat it. And ever since, I gave it to my brother, like it wasn't wasted or anything. And I passed it on to my brother and the family and they ate it. Now I was young, right? I think it was like 17 or something like that. And so I really all my life learned a respect for creatures and animals of the planet and stuff like that. And so I also was a cook for 20 years and I worked in restaurants. And so I was able to experience shark. Now, luckily, I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. But I'm also not against hunting for food. I have no problem if somebody wants to go out and hunt for food and respect it and eat it and stuff like I'm saying to you, then I'm okay with that. Sure. But I tried shark and to be honest, I didn't really like it. I don't like that kind of fish myself. Anyway, what I do have a problem is when I see a lot of this with the calls and stuff is when they're doing it for the fins and stuff, for shark fin soups and stuff like that, and disposing of the rest of the body. That just irks me, and I'm on live here. I'm going to say that. It's my job. I'm going to say I do not like this, doing it just for the fins and disposing of the body.
Well, let me put my little conservation message out here because this is a good example of a conservation message that kind of gets misrepresented. Now, shark finning is terrible, and doing that is a bad thing. But killing animals for food and stuff is something that we do as humans. I mean, I had a pepperoni pizza tonight.
Yes, right.
I had
a hamburger.
And sometimes we call like deer or something for population control. With sharks, we tend to, especially in Florida, we tend to jump on this, how do you save the sharks? Well, ban shark finning. Well, shark finning is banned in Florida. It's not a problem here. It is a problem. It's a real problem. It exists mostly in other parts of the world.
Yes.
But overall, the most dangerous thing for sharks is overfishing and poor fishing practices. So
yes,
the best way to actually save sharks, or one of the best ways to help protect sharks, is by being responsible in how we eat seafood, how we catch seafood, what type of seafood we eat, because most of the time sharks, there are sharks that there are 500 plus species of sharks. There are sharks that are fished responsibly in a sustainable way, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there are also a lot of sharks that caught in what we call bycatch, when they're caught while we're trying to catch other things. So if you want to help protect sharks, you can get apps or go to websites like Seafood Watch, Seafood Now. I think those are up and running again. And it'll tell you which types of fish are good choices, not as good choices, and ones you should avoid. And it'll tell you why. So sometimes it's because of the fishing practices leads to a lot of bycatch. Sometimes it's because that fish species is endangered. Sometimes it's because the fish farming practices that they use are polluting a river. So there's lots of different reasons. Sometimes it's because that species has a lot of mercury in it and it's just bad for you. But being responsible in how we buy seafood, how we consume seafood, and how we catch seafood is the most important thing for sharks, especially in North America, in Canada, the United States, Mexico. That is by and away the largest thing that is a danger to sharks.
Sad. It's really sad. And actually, leads me to the next question anyway. Are sharks endangered?
And this is a difficult question to answer because out of the 500 plus species of sharks, there are definitely some sharks that are endangered, but getting population counts on sharks is very challenging. You can count rhinos or elephants in the Serengeti. How do you get a population count on sharks? There are some sharks that are thriving. There are some sharks that we think are disappearing. You'll see statistics that 70% of sharks are endangered. That could be accurate. The problem is it's difficult to tell. What we can do is we can look at the circumstantial evidence. How many sharks are being caught in certain areas? What are the prey populations? How's that whole ecosystem balancing out? And that is really why, too, shark conservation is so important. I mean, it's important to people like us because we think sharks are freaking radical.
Yes.
And we want to keep them around. But the reality is there's a much more important reason to save sharks, and that's because they are often apex predators in an ecosystem, top of the line. And even when they're not, they have an important role that they play in ecosystems. And if you remove sharks, especially the ones that are apex predators, out of that ecosystem, it changes the whole dynamic, and it can be devastating to other populations of animals, which eventually is going to impact humans because it's going to affect the fish that we fish for and eat. So shark conservation is important, even if you don't like sharks, because humans need sharks.
Of course. Actually, let me bring up this one too. The big question: should sharks be feared?
I think what you've been saying all night is that sharks should be respected, and I think that is a word I prefer over fear. I can't tell you that sharks aren't dangerous because there are a few species of sharks that are occasionally dangerous, but statistically, elk and moose are much more dangerous than sharks. But we don't have the same, are these animals dangerous? Are deer dangerous? Well, way more people die in traffic accidents with deer than die from shark attacks around the world. But that doesn't mean you should be afraid of them, but you should respect them and you should be careful around them. And you should understand if you go into the ocean, that is where they live. And if you do things to trigger them to make a mistake, it's probably still not going to happen. But if it does, you're kind of can be responsible for that. Now, I'm not saying that I blame people that are attacked by sharks. I don't mean to imply that at all. But we do need to be responsible and understand that life is full of risks and rewards, and we're always weighing those out. Is it worth it for me to get in a car and drive to work or wherever I'm going every day, even though that's a way higher risk activity than swimming in the oceans at night or at sunset with a dead fish dragging behind me? It's that weighing that risk reward benefit thing and discovering or finding out for us what's worth it. And when it comes to sharks, the risk is so low that I would hope that nobody declines doing things that they would love to do because of that fear, because statistically speaking, it's just not something you need to worry about.
Yeah, very much. This is just for people out there. I'm going to take the last half hour here and going to go through all these comments as quickly as I can. I just wanted to ask if we have helped you guys with your understanding of sharks. Has Matt and Kimbra helped you, to see the sharks in a different light? And I also have one other question. Will any of you guys ever swim with sharks like me and Matt and Kimbra? And now I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. I can't wait. And so there's no possible way that I get to see the sharks on this cruise coming up.
It's unlikely, just because where we're going. It's possible if you did a snorkeling excursion like you're doing the one with us in Aruba. Yeah. It's possible we could see a shark, but honestly, it's not that likely because they just don't tend to hang out in the places where people are doing those activities.
We watched videos of the Antilla wreck when people saw sharks there.
Nurse sharks.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible we could see a nurse shark. It's possible that a shark could swim by when we're at the Antilla wreck. It's possible we could see a nurse shark when we're in that shallow reef, although like nurse sharks stay in the deep water during the day typically. But and in Bonaire, I don't know what you're doing in Bonaire.
Bonaire, I think we're doing the golf cart with Sean.
So you probably won't be in the water that much.
I need to be in the water. Those are hot places. I went to Mexico on my cruise in March, and I never got to go in any water at the pools or nothing because they were so busy, and it was too cold to go in the water.
I mean, in Amber Cove, you could go to Ocean World.
Oh yeah, and swim with nurse sharks at Ocean World, which is a really cool experience.
I could do that, but I want to, I think what I'm looking for, that rush of, like I said, I want to go from the reefies, snorkeling with the reefies, into scuba diving with some bull sharks.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is because at the aquarium, Vancouver Aquarium, they have can you call it a skull? The teeth and
the shark jaw,
the shark jaws, and that's where I got my understanding of the sizes of really what a bull shark would be like. It's like, whoa, right? So so those are the really cool one, and then I can overcome my fear, is really what this whole thing is for me, swimming with sharks. It's proven to myself that I can overcome fear like I did with dogs. I want to do that. And I have a really, really, really great respect for their danger. I really do. And I can see all you guys whenever you do all your things in the Phantom Diving Shack here. I can see it, right? And I want to be a part of that, and I want everybody to see that. So I'm going to go into the questions here. Let me see. Let's going to go back up here. See if we can grab some here random thing here. It's going to be about sharks, okay? I can see some of these questions. What's it saying? I will never swim with them, and I mean never, ever, ever. That's okay. You're allowed. You're allowed not to. Shark bites are so rare, really, in the scheme of things. Yep. Zindogsphobia. Come on. Okay, you're the teacher. Let's see if you or Kimbra can answer that.
Is this a Zidong shop phobia? I don't know.
Yeah,
great job at pronouncing it.
I don't know if that's a real thing or not. Maybe
I don't know. With Blaine, it could be anything.
It's probably not, since Blaine said it.
No,
he's got it. He must. He either knew. That sounds like it'd be a very specific type of vending machine.
Yeah. Cruise Talk. I have sleep apnea as well. So
I don't know. That says fandom.com.
Where?
I guess that doesn't mean anything.
I don't know. Yeah.
Fearof.org. There we go. That's got to be real.
There you go.
I was trying to find.
I don't know if that's specifically afraid of them falling on you, or they're just afraid of them in general.
I think it would be afraid of falling, because there is actual ones for like I said, dressers falling on you and stuff.
Yeah.
You see that in
I mean, statistically, you're more justified if you have that fear than you are of sharks. So
yeah, really. Tropical Islands, Larry, no Bobby tonight. So Bobby was here, I saw earlier. Yeah, I see him down at the bottom of the chat there. I don't know if he's still here or not. But the reason why I didn't use Bobby, not use, that sounded awful. The reason why we didn't bring up Bobby, it's just I didn't want the whole panel set up. Like there's so many things that buttons and things you got to press on here. It just was there. And plus, Bobby's my mod, so he takes care of the chat while we're in there. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Come on, where's the questions? Come on, where are we at here? Favorite place to scuba with sharks? Favorite place?
I mean, I go where the sharks are, but I will say my favorite experience I've had with sharks was snorkeling with reef sharks in Bimini, even more than when I've seen them while scuba diving. And I don't know what was yours.
I have two answers. I loved Bimini. That was amazing. But because my first shark was diving in the Keys, that's got to kind of be my answer.
Never forget your first.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah.
So that was,
and that was
amazing.
That was cool because that shark came right up to us.
It like I could have reached out and probably touched it. It was so cool.
And what kind was it again?
It was a Caribbean reef shark.
Oh, out on your own, not expecting anything, but you are in the Keys, and that's I've understand it that in the Keys that's a popular area for sharks as well.
They're fairly common. Reef sharks are fairly common there. You see other nurse sharks are even more common. You see a few others now and then, but yeah, and I would say hammerhead's my favorite, but reef sharks are real close behind because it is the shark I get the most excited about that I normally see. Normal being like a few times I've seen them, and they're just really, I think, underrated. Like their eyes are just beautiful especially when you see them in person. They just, I don't know, they're just gorgeous sharks.
Reefies or hammerheads?
Well, both, but I'm talking about Caribbean reef sharks.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous sharks, just beautiful sharks.
I say black tip reef sharks because that's what I saw, but the reef sharks in general, they're pretty close, and I just love. They're sleek. They're like my cat. I'm a cat lover. I just love them. Sorry, I know you know what I mean. Actually, there was an excursion that I found on YouTube that they take like a pontoon boat out and you feed them, but you don't get to swim with them. Like I was going to settle for that one day. Sean was asking if they don't attacking humans, how come I'm always a target?
Keyword here, Sean, humans.
Yeah, that's right. He said you're humans are the most dangerous. So what biggest shark you both swim with? So James.
Yeah. Well, it's different for the two of us.
Yeah, it would be the Caribbean reef shark for me.
And the whale shark for me. So.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Sorry, Kimbra. You haven't swam. We're gonna have to make that happen, Kimbra.
Yeah.
I definitely want to do it.
And the whale sharks that I swim with, the biggest one was about probably 25 feet long. And I'll tell you what, they get almost twice that size. And 25 feet, even if you show me a model of a 25-foot shark, when you get in the water with it, it looks bigger. It's just amazing.
I like sharks. They're my favorite. But Kimbra, you talk about turtles and stuff. That'll be a dream, really, as well, just to see all those kinds of things. You know what my favorite, and I think it is yours too, Kimbra. Is it a lionfish? No, not you.
No.
Okay. No. My I think it's lion. The pointy ones. The pointy.
Yeah. I mean, lionfish are really cool looking.
They're beautiful fish. Yeah.
You were talking about it in one of your videos. You saw them when you went scuba with Matt not too long ago?
We saw, actually, when we went to Cayman, we only saw one of them, which was weird.
We see them a lot.
Yeah, but we see them most of the
It's a mixed thing because they're invasive in the Florida and the Caribbean. So they're harmful, they're damaging, they're not supposed to be here, but they are beautiful fish. So it's kind of like when we see them, we're excited, but at the same time, we're like,
I hear you. Yeah. What do you call it? My father-in-law, he passed a couple of years ago. He had a saltwater tank, and he had tangs and the clowns and the angels and all those. I don't know if it was an angel, but I can't remember all the fish he had, but they were amazing. Oh, are those black tips? No, they're not black tips behind me. They are reefies. Let's see. Any more questions? Oh no, I'm asking about Bobby. Bobby, you tell them where you are, Bobby. I've seen that. I've seen Matt dive down while snorkeling. He can hold his breath a bit. So actually, that's a good question. Are you both free divers?
No. So
No.
my problem is I would love to.
Yeah.
But I have problems equalizing my ears with diving. So with free diving, you have to move down a lot faster, and I struggle a lot doing that because of my ears. So I will attempt it sometimes, and then I usually just give up.
And
I'm going to ask you something after that, Kimbra. So Matt,
can you I'm definitely a free diver. I loved scuba, but I really like free diving a lot.
Wow. How long can you hold your breath?
If I'm moving around right now, I'm out of shape. Right now, about 2 minutes. But when I've been in top shape,
I know
closer to 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to follow. I don't really follow them to now. Is Sailing La Vagabond. They're from Australia, but they have a sailboat and they sail around the Bahamas everywhere. Like, and they got two boys on the thing, and Karen, Nate, you know those. Everybody knows Karen, Nate. So they're with them right now, but they're free divers, and that's where I got seen a lot of shark footage with them free diving and stuff. But they also spearfish too, and like you were saying earlier, spearfishing and sharks, they don't mix well. And actually, there was a video where he was saying that they were giving him a hard time coming back to shore.
Yeah. You'll see me free dive in Aruba on the Antilla wreck.
Oh yeah,
because that goes down to about 40, 45 feet, depending on where we're at.
Yeah,
and you'll see me swim down there.
So I want to say with you, Kimbra. So, okay, I dive down like in the deep end of the pool. Now it hurts a little bit with my ears. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So now I've never been deeper than what is the 13 feet deep pool, whatever, like the diving wherever you dive. So it's whatever that pool is. Now, once you go deeper, does that hurt?
So
like even more?
So for me, as long as I can get myself equalized, I'm usually fine. Usually my issue is between like 10 to 20 feet. Once I get past that, I'm usually good. It's that's like where the biggest pressure change is for me, where I struggle. Okay. So I do a lot of up and down to get myself where it doesn't hurt. And then once I get past that, like 15, 20 feet, I'm usually good.
So it's got nothing to do with swallowing or whatever, because I know when I'm down there, I like it does when I first dive down and I swim down, and it hurts a little bit, but then it's fine. Like, but I'll start to move my head around.
That definitely helps it. So what that does is the pressure kind of builds up, and when you do those different techniques, it helps relieve that pressure. So that is what helps that. Okay. I'm just broken.
Okay. You're not the only one broken, Kimbra.
as you go down, what you do when you scuba dive, the way they mostly teach you, you hold your nose. That's why dive masks always have access to your nose, and you exhale. And what that does is it equalizes the air pressure. The air pressure gets condensed from the pressure of the water, and it equalizes that, and then it relieves that tension. And so the first like 10-15 feet is where that change is the most dramatic, like physics wise, and definitely the first 30 feet. And so when you scuba dive, especially when you're new to it, like you equalize like constantly as you're going down, and you'll feel that pressure build, and then you'll equalize, it'll release, equalize, release. If you feel pain, then you stop, you swim up, and you adjust. And then once you get deeper, the pressure changes are more minute, and so it's easier to equalize. But some people have a real difficult time equalizing, and unfortunately, Kimbra is one of those people. Okay. And then my ears are like loose.
Yeah. So I know what it's like to use the BCD and sync, right? You know,
Yeah.
and so you're going down slow, though, right?
Yes.
Not like when I dive into the pool, you're going down, you know, swimming down deep,
Yeah,
quick,
very
right? You
different.
know,
Very different
Okay.
experience.
That's why I can't free dive, because I can't go that fast. My ears will hurt so bad.
And you usually have to go feet first too. That helps you.
Yes, I have to go feet first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So,
wow.
but there's techniques and stuff that help with that. But the reality is, some people just have struggles because anatomically it's just challenging for them to clear their ears. And it may get easier for her as she practices and loosens those muscles and stuff, but it may not. It may be that she always struggles with that.
You seen that Betsy and Mike are now scuba certified as well, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. They shared a video because the Caribbean Ocean is totally different than the Pacific Ocean.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm saying that is Vancouver Aquarium is in the Pacific Ocean, and they show all the creatures and all that kind of stuff are in the Pacific Ocean. And then you watch, you know, full of big kelp and all that kind of stuff. Whereas we're in the Caribbean, you get a lot more coral and all that kind of stuff too, right?
It's too cold on the west coast of North America until you get, even in Mexico, the water is cold because those currents come up and they bring cold water with them. And so most coral needs warm, clear water. And so you just don't get that along the coast of North America for the most part. You get it when you get down far enough south, but not in the United States even.
Do you agree that Cozumel is the second largest reef in the world? Is that true?
The Mesoamerican reef, which extends from Cozumel all the way down through Belize, Honduras, I think Costa Rica, is the second largest.
It is, okay.
Reef in the world. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because like when the resort I stayed at, it was just outside Playa del Carmen. It's called Grand Sunset Princess, and now, of course, it's a resort. You're not going to see too much around a resort. It's all. I didn't get to experience really anything other than what you've seen around the little beach area or that Shalha, the little thing. It's cool, but I never really experienced coral and stuff. And that's like my father-in-law, he had live coral and stuff in his tank and stuff. And I really want to see it. It amazes me.
You'll see it on that. You'll see it when we go on that excursion, because one of the stops we'll make will be a shallow reef, and you'll see live coral there for sure.
Nice. Actually, I wanted to ask about that. Okay, the sunken ship. I saw that was part of it. Now, I don't free dive, so I guess will I be able to see it from the surface where I'm going to be? You know, I don't know. Is it deep?
So the ship lies in about 40, 45 feet of water, but it's a full-on ship. So there's parts of it that come up fairly close to the surface. And when I've only been there once, and it was a choppy day. And so there were fish swimming around up at the surface, but you couldn't see the wreck very well on that day unless you swam down. However, I've watched a ton of videos on people that have taken that excursion and similar excursions, and most of the time you can see it. And also where we went was, I think, a deeper portion when I was there, and sometimes they go to a shallower portion. So you will be able to see it. You may or may not be able to see it really well, but you'll definitely see like some fish and stuff. But then the other spot we're going to is real shallow. So you'll be able to see real easily there. It's like 3 to 5 feet mostly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's as clear as
a little kiddie pool.
Yeah, it's clear as a swimming pool. And you won't want to, you shouldn't step down because you could hurt the coral and stuff. But there will be a couple of sandy spots where people can stand, but you'll have a snorkel vest, so you don't have to. You can just float, which is ideally what you want to do. But you'll definitely see a lot there, and I think you'll be able to see the wreck. I just don't know how well. I'm hoping it will be clear.
I got a GoPro now. Yeah. I don't have a waterproof light. I have a light for it, but I'm sure I can dive a little bit. You know, like I don't know, enough to get a good, dive under and stuff. Yeah.
Just give me your GoPro. I'll go down and get your footage and come back.
That's not the same. That I gotta overcome my fears. Get that stuff. I've never really got out into the ocean, right? Nick doesn't want to go swimming with the sharks. What's this? What shark is that, Kimbra?
Oh, that was the epaulet shark that we were talking
about.
Oh,
the epaulet. There we go. Let me see if I can find some. Oh, what's this? This one looked interesting. What's that all about?
Yeah, if you look at the next comment.
I saw.
Yeah.
Well, we've been shut in a little bit with the storm, and we lost power, and of course everything was closed. So we were, when you can't have something, you want it even more. And so she was jonesing for some McDonald's chicken nuggets, and JT knew that because he's also was out of power and stuff. So we were talking about, he's in Lakeland, so he's a little bit further, but we were talking about, he found a McDonald's that was open, and we were trying to find one that was open.
Actually, I was watching a Storm Chaser, and this is something I did not know. Okay. In Canada, I don't know if this happens here, but he was driving around and he stopped at a gas station. The gas station was boarded up and everything, but he was able to get gas. That just blew me away. Like, I don't know where it was, just before it got really bad. Yeah, he was driving around chasing. There was a YouTube channel that chases after storms and stuff, and they found this gas station. The light was on the gas pumps, but the whole place was boarded up and everything, and sure enough, they got gas.
I mean,
if they still have power and they pay with their credit card, there's no reason. I mean, there's one of the gas stations that we go to sometimes is usually short staffed, and the store itself is closed, but we can still get gas.
Yeah, and especially before the storm, they know that there's going to be people needing gas, so it's a profitable time for gas stations. So if they can board up and protect their assets, but then keep that station running, then it's going to be a benefit for everyone.
One of the quick things why I'm saying that also, because I was with my kids and we were coming back from my youngest daughter's place from dinner, and then we were driving down into Albuquerque, and we got going, and they realized the gas light come on, and from where I was to where we were going was, I think, 40 miles. And gas light was on. So we get to this gas station, pull in there, and I'm using my credit card. And I have a couple credit cards, and I tried using it, and it wouldn't do it. And then we realized the place was closed, right? It wasn't working. So we get going. We get to this other one. My credit cards wouldn't work. I don't know why. Same thing. Lights were off, and they were closed. So we finally get into Albuquerque after driving 40 miles on a gas light on. And we get in there and try to use my cards. It wouldn't work. So I had to go inside, and then it worked inside. But the point I'm making is those other two, they were closed, but it was like normal, like here, you hear of a gas station closed here, you can't get gas. But that just blew me away. Like, you would assumed it was closed, but you're saying if they have power, that just, wow. Yeah. Like
with hurricanes, you have a few days to prep. And so you don't, especially if you're not evacuating, you can prep, and then you can stay open for people that are evacuating, up until right before the storm gets to you and stuff. So,
well, I'm down at the bottom already. That was really quick. Holy smokes! Let's just finish off a couple questions. I got 15 minutes. No, I'm going to let you guys. I've held you guys long enough. Held you hostage. So let me think. Okay, so let's see if I go back to my notes. I noticed one thing I need to do is that I need to get my printer connected so I can print off all these things, because I can't keep what I want to do with you guys. Okay, let's see what else we got. I answered that. We did this. I already did all that. And I guess pretty much it for you guys. Let's see what else. Let's see if I found one more thing here. All right, give me one sec. So I actually didn't get to share your link that I had prepared for you guys.
Oh, that's all right. We gave them the name. They can find it.
I'm doing it right there. There's your link. I apologize. I never got your link. If you guys haven't checked out Fintastic Cruising, Matt and Kimbra, please go check out their channel. amazing channel, very funny, and you'll learn a lot. I was going to say so, but I'll save that one, Matt. Also, I just wanted to mention this. Where is it? I had to move everything around at the last second. We are going on a cruise in how many days? What's your countdown?
I mean, it's 14 days. It's from tomorrow. So
is it?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the 1st, so 15 days.
Oh, 15 days. Well, 50 from today.
Right.
But basically, not tomorrow, but next Saturday, right? Or no, Saturday after that.
It's 2 Saturdays.
2 Saturdays from yeah.
See, for me, the reason why I'm saying that because I'm flying from Canada. Sean's already down that way.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving in 11 days. I'm leaving on October 11th at 8:05, catching the ferry over to Vancouver Island. Then I'm taking a bus south to Nanaimo. Then I'm taking another ferry across to Vancouver. Then I'm going to take a train from the ferry terminal to Richmond. Then I'm staying in a hotel overnight there. And then I get to get up for 8 o'clock flight out of Vancouver, going to Denver to Houston to Miami. I don't get into Miami until 10:14 p.m.
Oh, wow.
On the 12th. But I'll be staying with Dewey, and he's going to pick me up at the airport and stuff. And so I got from the 13th till the 15th, which
you can celebrate my birthday in Florida.
When's your birthday?
The 13th.
You're the 13th. Oh, so wait a minute. That's right. I heard you say that because my daughter's is the 14th. So there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So you're on the 13th. So we'll have to celebrate it because you're not going to come down on the 13th, are you?
No.
We'll drive down. I think Friday we're maybe going to work a half day and then drive over. It's like a 4-hour drive. So
you're going to work and then drive?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't do that. No. If I go on a vacation, I want out of my job. See ya, I'm done. Although I work from home now, so I do what you do, Kimbra.
Yeah.
I work from home. I want to go on vacation. So yeah, if anybody's in Miami around this time, come check us out. We're going to be staying at the Hilton Garden Inn, Miami Airport West. Now you guys are staying at another hotel close by, right?
We got a room there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I was just talking to the manager a couple days ago. So she said, yeah, everything's all good there. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty much it. I just want to do so if you guys get a chance, go check out Matt and Kimbra's channel. They're on Friday evenings at
We've been doing 8:30
Eastern.
We might actually move it up a little early, but it'll probably be Friday evening. Go over to Facebook and look for the Fintastic Cruising community, and that's where we always post. Usually day of, but it's typically Fridays when we're going to do our lives.
Day of, like hours before.
Sometimes hours before.
But you guys also do a podcast. You want to explain what that is all about?
So the podcast, we used to do an audio podcast only. And then we had some people that are like, we never have an opportunity to listen to podcasts. Would you do it on YouTube as a video? And so we started doing that. And then what we do is we record it live, and then we will edit it down to kind of chop the beginning and end off. And then we will release that as an audio podcast. But we're basically doing the podcast in front of a quote unquote live studio audience on Friday night. So if you do come to ours, it's a little different than most live streams because normally we're not super interactive with the chat during the body of the podcast. Sometimes depends on the topic. Sometimes we do look for that interaction, but before it begins and after it ends, then we'll do sort of that more standard live chat part or live stream part. But I know that's a little confusing sometimes for people that come over and they're like, why aren't they talking to anybody? That's why.
Well, I was that way when I first started watching. You're not answering me. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, that it doesn't translate well when for the people that do still consume it as an audio podcast. So we try and keep it audio friendly and as a more traditional podcast. But we definitely enjoy doing the video version of it. It makes it a lot easier for us, and we do like seeing the feedback quite a bit, and we love seeing everybody showing up and supporting us. So it means a lot to us.
I love podcast, but I think with I have ADHD. I don't think I can deal with multitasking the way we get to do all this kind of stuff here, and then podcasting. Got to remember. Okay, I can only say this. I can't like I have a Word document with what I should say, and I don't know if you noticed, but I read a lot from what it is. It's hard to memorize things. So you do both. Like you're just so smart, Matt. I'm sorry, I have to say it that way. You know, I'm jealous in a way.
Well, I talk for a living, so
yeah,
it's a little easier. I mean, public speaking is something that I do as part of my job, so it's not. I wouldn't say it comes naturally to me. It's what I do, so it's easier for me in that regard. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. You know, so. And then having Kimbra as a co-host is super helpful because, you know, we can kind of bounce things off each other and she usually helps me when I forget everything. So
when you take a break, I can say hi.
Exactly.
I have a co-host also, Matt Rob from Cruising on the High Seas, my partner channel and stuff. So he's my co-host. Now he's in another province, far from me. Probably 4,000 or 5,000 miles away from me. I don't know how the distance is, but yes, I do understand. You have somebody to bounce off, and it's great. Plus, you have your life partner with you, right? You know, that's
exactly.
You know, I really wish my life partner would join me more on live feeds. But
so I do want to say at the beginning of this, you called me his wife.
Yeah, you got me in trouble.
Oh. My apologies.
Maybe one day.
I apologize. I don't remember all who's married and who's boyfriend and girlfriend.
You're not the first one to. You're not the first one to get me in trouble.
I'm just making a point to Matt.
This is all for my benefit.
I was with my first wife. I'm married second time. I was with my first wife 10 years before I put a ring on her finger.
No. That's.
I'm not going there. I'm not putting anybody on the spot here. Sorry.
This is where I don't grab the shovel and keep digging. I think that's where we're at.
We'll keep it family friendly now.
He's had plenty before. He needs to he's getting there up in age. He needs to make his decision.
Kimbra, do you know when I got married? October 31st, 1997.
Oh,
Halloween.
Well, Halloween's coming up, Matt.
That's up to Matt. So he's going to be ready if he's going to do that, right? But I do apologize. I called you, you know, your wife and stuff,
No.
but it's normal.
No, she loves it. She loves it.
Oh, okay. So maybe one day.
She can get me there. See, yeah.
Anyway, it's amazing having you on. I was actually honored to have you guys on here. I love your channel. I love what you're doing. I can't wait to see you guys on the ship.
Yes.
Really, I'm very excited. And that's one of the reasons, because I wasn't planning on doing any excursions, by the way. I was going to just go into the beach and do a snorkel thing. But I thought, what a great opportunity to learn with you guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that I don't want you to think that I'm tagging along and, you know, oh God, he's bringing us back. That's not what I was meaning. I can ask you questions, you know, and I know you guys are much more professional than me. I'm a newbie at going in the water, right? You know, so if you feel like I'm holding you back, just let me know. And hey, I'll just do my thing and I'll just hang on to the boat and drown. I know how to swim.
Where we're going to be is very controlled. So they will have people watching from the boat. They'll have people possibly in the water, and they will, you know, let you know if you get too far away from the group. So it's a very safe, controlled thing. Because you will see me, I will be gone like a shot. Like I get in the zone.
Of course, of course, totally.
I'm all over the place. But yeah, it'll be really safe. And it's a good thing you're doing the excursion because really, unfortunately, Aruba is not a good place to just get off the cruise ship and snorkel. Like you have to get, there's a lot of snorkeling beaches, but they're not like really in walking distance. So you have to find transportation
okay.
there and then transportation back. We actually considered renting a car, but then we were like, well, let's just do this excursion. It's easier and stuff. And I know the snorkeling's good, but we're also glad you're doing it because it's a lot of fun. It's more fun to share that experience with friends.
Mhm.
And this particular excursion, I know that on the catamaran, after the snorkeling's over, the drinks will be flying and the fun will be flying. And it's a really good, it's a very fun excursion.
I'm a little worried for that part, actually.
When Matt takes off, I'll have someone to hang out at the
There you go.
snorkels with me.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I saw it's the punch, right? That they rum punch.
Rum punch, and they'll do. There's another one they do in Aruba, and I can't remember the name of it. But and they'll make you different drinks if you want. You can do non-alcoholic. You can do alcohol. They're not super strong drinks, but they just have fun. So no matter what, they will get you in a good mood and have.
I do drink, and I understand, and I've experienced and watched others experience that nice yumminess from that rum punch. I won't point fingers, but I understand it can, but for me, I used to, my last job was an outreach worker, working with people, getting them into drug rehab. Oh, look who that is. Are you going to say hi? Are you going to say hi? Mom, they're talking to me, Mom. Mom.
Look at the camera.
Mom.
Oh, that's exactly not where the camera is. Look over here.
Dad. Don't.
There we go.
Can we tell everybody that your dog's name?
Oh, this is Reno.
Reno, yeah. Does it have a meaning behind his name, or just?
So my dad got him and his sister when they were puppies, and we were trying to come up with names that were like cute to go together. So his sister's name was Vegas.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Oh, by the way, I can read Reno's body language. I'm not scared.
Okay? Yeah.
I mean,
well, you're a child.
He wears a bow tie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If you're gonna wear a bow tie, you must be really cute. Mom, he's still talking, Mom. He's still talking, Dad.
He wears a bow tie.
Very cute. I'd like to see him one day. Yeah. Anyway,
you may.
Thank you so much, guys. I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
We'll see you around. Go check them out, everyone. And I'm going to finish out here. Just there's a couple more questions here. And anything you guys want to say?
Thank you guys thank you for inviting us on, and thank everybody that was listening. And if you are afraid of sharks, all I ask is that you think about sharks and see if you can see them from a different perspective, and know they're important.
You can still go to see the sharks in an aquarium. They're just as beautiful.
Absolutely.
And if you're ever in Tampa Bay,
and
go to the Florida Aquarium. So it's called the Florida Aquarium.
It is. Yes.
It is truthfully, for me being from Canada, when you hear Florida Aquarium, it's confusing. In Tampa Bay, you would, you know what I mean? Like you're in the state of Florida, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. We have Moat Marine Aquarium in Sarasota. We have Clearwater Marine Aquarium in Clearwater. We have Miami Sea Aquarium, which is not really an aquarium. It's more like a mini SeaWorld, which we also have SeaWorld. So I think when they built the Florida Aquarium in '95, they were thinking of, this is going to be the official like aquarium of the state. It's in a good central location, and our other aquariums are not traditional aquariums. Moat's a research facility, Clearwater's a rehab facility, Miami Sea Aquarium and SeaWorld are more like theme parks or zoos. So we really didn't have a standing aquarium, and so that I think that was the thought behind it.
If I'm ever down that way, I will certainly check out the aquarium, because that is one of my things. That's again, that's why I follow your channel. You guys like the Aqua Life, and Anda loves the Aqua Life, so that is our thing. And so it's amazing. Now, you guys stayed open during this craziness, right?
We closed for a few days. We had staff there.
No. Sorry. During this sea.
Oh, we closed for a little bit.
We closed for 2 months.
Yeah.
Really?
It was the first aquarium to open in the United States.
Not just the first aquarium, first zoo or aquarium. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm actually not even sure if Vancouver Aquarium's open yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. It was closed for a long time. Now, of course, I don't live in Vancouver anymore. I'm in a very small landlocked town. The only way in is flying or a ferry. And even though we're on the mainland, we're not attached to nothing, and we're a small 13,000 population. So we don't, and I don't have cable, right? So I don't see anything, right? So, I can't wait to go to an aquarium. I miss all that stuff. It was great going in there and going on dates with my wife. But anyway, thank you guys so much. It's good seeing you. I'm glad you guys are safe from this other craziness thing.
Yeah. Hearts go out to those who are not so fortunate.
Yes. And lots of good vibes and prayers and all that, if whatever you do. Anyway, you guys have a great night. It's good seeing you.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. And Steve's right there directly over your right shoulder. If nobody knows, they like to hide Steve Irwin. And speaking of Steve Irwin, sorry.
Steve Irwin,
No. I was going to get into the Steve Irwin story, but no. Crikey. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And there we have it. Matt and Kimbra from Fintastic Studios. Gosh, I went 2 hours, and it seems like it was just starting. I could go on and talk about SeaWorld stuff and sharks and stuff. I'm going to finish up here. I'm just going to go back to the comments, seeing if there's anything that I can bring up here. We're your 15th. What do we get going on here? What about the land down under? How is that water, and what will you see, eh? Rob, come on, Matt, step up to the plate. Stacy, we're playing nice in the sandbox, Stacy. Now, come on. Great show. Thank you for stopping in, Gianna. I appreciated everything. Like I think you're one of Matt and Kimbra's viewers and stuff, so I do appreciate you coming over. But if you haven't, please go check out Matt and Kimbra. The link's in the description below. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate you. I will see you soon on the next show. And it flew by right. Here we go. Perfect. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody for showing up. I hope that I wasn't here to sit there and to convince you and judge you if you say you don't want to swim with sharks. That's not what I was trying to do. My thoughts is just to share awareness of it. Mainly it's because I'm seeing the calls and stuff, and then you hear the people talk about the jaws and the shark attacks and stuff, and everybody wants to hate on these creatures, and all they're doing is just being who they are and where they're from, right? And so and I personally believe they're not as dangerous as what the media and the news and video and documentaries, all those things, they're not as dangerous, as you can see from the video that I shared. And so hopefully you can maybe swim with the sharks one day. If not, like I said, go visit one of your local aquariums and go check them out. They're beautiful creatures. Now, of course, all creatures for me are beautiful. I just hope you can. I hope that that I've opened a little bit, instead of just thinking, sharks are mean and evil. I would assume that's why you stopped in here to check out, see what we were going to say. And I hope my message got across. What do we got here? Jim Jones. Hey, Jim, how's it going? Just saying hi. I dropped in to see your channel. Well, thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Hope you get a chance to either see the show or you watched it, and I hope you liked it. And here we go with Matt. So I'm going to do up the last housekeeping that I always do. Let me see. Where's it? Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, just let everybody know. All links will be in the description below. Go check them out. Show some love and support if you can. It's free. Yeah, Nan and I want to say thank you to everybody for all your love and support. We appreciate it. Let me see. Okay, yeah, just to let everybody know, we have an Instagram. There's the link there. And then we have Facebook. We have a Facebook group and a great Facebook page. Teespring store. There's our Teespring store. And we also have a PayPal account. If you want to give some donations, all the money goes right back into the channel to make more content. So give me a sec here. There's one last thing I want to say. Where is it? There's our slogan. We actually have a slogan, everyone. And here it is, right here. So anyway, thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone. And remember, if we can do it, so can you. Good night.